Michael Irvin here on the Rich Eisen Show. I had Troy Aikman on the show yesterday, asked him about Romo, and he says he doesn't think Romo really wants to retire and that Jerry Jones probably hasn't given it really much thought yet because he hasn't come to grips with the reality that he is going to have to part ways with Tony Romo. And then we hear today, asked point blank about it on a local radio station. He says, I don't have to address it yet because I haven't really gotten to it yet. So what do you think happens here with Romo, Irv?
And Rich, you saw in the piece that I did with Jerry on the show, he was frank about it. He said, hey, man, you don't spend that kind of time with people like I spent with you and like I spent with Romo and not get personally involved. It just doesn't happen. It's not humanly possible, So I know it's a difficult decision. That's axiomatic. We know it's a difficult decision. But it's a decision that has to be made, and he's made many difficult decisions. And Tony wants to go play football. Tony doesn't want to sit another whole year. If Jerry could have his cake and eat it too, he would pay Tony a great amount of money to be the highest paid backup ever in the history of the game. But that won't feed Tony's belly. So they got to make a decision there, and I think he'll do everything and anything he can to help Tony get to a good spot.
Because, Jason Garrett wouldn't answer point blank if Dak's going to be the starter next year. I mean, we took that to mean that this is he's got to wait to hear from high up about what happens with Romo first.
No. Jason just did what he did. Trust me, Dak's going to be the starter next year.
Mm-hmm.
Dak's going to be the starter because of what I just said. Now, if the man took you to that record without knowing the craftiness, the crafty stuff, and then he spends the off season where he's more comfortable with this system. And remember now, that's the roommate of Zeke. So when you knock out one, or you're knocking out two, the same two that got you here, we can't even fathom that decision. It'll be out here, and maybe it'll be left lingering for a while, so everybody can still talk about the star when the star is sitting at home and not on the football field. But it's a decision that must be made, and it is Dak Prescott's team.
Would Jerry trade him in conference, do you think? Or would he just get him to the AFC so he doesn't have to?
No, I don't. Well, and he's certainly not anywhere in the division. I don't know if he'll do it in conference. Somebody has to step up and do something pretty great for him to do it in conference, I believe, where it's just a package he couldn't let go. But possibly, if it's up to Jerry, he'll definitely send him to the AFC.
Before I let you go, Irv, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about Antonio Brown.
Denver would be good on this place. Denver would be good. Now they got Vance Johnson to put in his own defense. Now you can bring Tony Romo in and stick in his offense. There's no need of bringing Tony Romo in if you won't use his offense, because now you're not allowing yourself to take advantage of his greatest asset, which is the experience in that system.
But I think they want Lynch to take the job next year. I think that's what they'd like, and have the young coach and the young quarterback grow together. That's what it seems like.
They want another year what they had. I told you at the beginning of the year, you didn't get in the playoffs with what you had. I know what you want, but can you deal with it? Can you deal with another year of what you just had last year, or must you get back into that playoff before this defense start getting old? That's just the bottom line.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.